Hi, everyone. Good to be back. So in terms of the connectors that we have in production today, we have 29, up 13 from in the past month, which is pretty incredible. So again, independent publisher connectors are Power Platform connectors submitted by anyone, whether you're an MVP. We've gotten some submissions from students. It could really be anyone who comes on and builds a custom connector and deploys it. So it's pretty incredible. And out of these 29 connectors in production, we have 19 incredible independent publishers, and Martyn is definitely one of them. 3 of these connectors have been updated so far, and I know that some of the publishers have said they'll be updating them in the next couple of months. It's awesome to see that. And 2 of these connectors have been co-authored, which means 2 or more people have built one connector together. So we love to see that collaboration. We also have 26 connectors in the certification pipeline. So they're going through the pipeline at different various stages of certification. And wanted to add that David and I have been working on the past couple of weeks on a new Credly badge. So we're really, really excited to release that very soon and to award our independent publishers as well as project coordinators. We'll have 2 of those badges. Really excited for that. And just wanted to, of course, call out all of our outstanding publishers for publishing fantastic connectors that people are using. There's been some really cool ones that we'll see on the next slide. And of course, we'll always want to call out Troy Taylor for going above and beyond and submitting 19 connectors. So of course, not all of them have been published in production, but we can really say that Troy is one of the experts here now after building so many. So it's super incredible. And Daniel, of course, has submitted 6 connectors and Ahmad has submitted 5. So it's pretty awesome to have all that. So if we go to the next slide, you can just see some of the names of the connectors here. So, anything from AccuWeather to Spotify. We have a couple of weather ones, which is interesting. We have weather forecast as well. And we have Martyn's, the CQC, which he'll be giving a demo on today in the UK government bank holidays, as well as a couple that have to do with science and the space. We see that there's EONET by NASA that was published this month. There's a SpaceX connector as well, which is super awesome. And one notable one that I want to call out that's in the certification pipeline is the Microsoft MVP connector. So this is, of course, only going to be available if you're an MVP so that you can sign in, but it will allow you to do a lot in terms of like tracking your contributions and all that good stuff. So then that was built by Ahmad. So it's awesome to see that. We also have a Coinbase connector that's in the pipeline. So very wide variety of services that people are building connectors to. Martyn is back with us again. He's a solutions architect at Dynamiti. And today he'll be showing a cool demo on the Care Quality Commissions connector. Martyn, take it away.
For people who don't know, the CQC in England is the Care Quality Commission. Now, this is a government organisation that is tasked with doing quality reviews on services such as doctors, dentists and rest homes, and it rates those organisations. It does this independently so you can get a sort of fair comparison between them all. Now, their front end, if we just nip into their webpage, is quite daunting. There's a lot of endpoints. This is just to get a list of locations that they're reviewing at the moment, and there's a huge list of potential parameters here. Now, this is all meant to be done via HTTP calls normally. They do provide a small widget, so you can pull out your own locations state if you want to put it onto your homepage. They've got a couple of pages on their website where you can search according to locations. But this API is there. It's a bit overwhelming, potentially for someone who walks up to it. The purpose of the connector is to simplify it, give us an easy way into it. So what I'm going to show you today is a small free screen Power App. And we'll be using 2 of the endpoints, the location endpoint, and we'll be using the reports as well. So if we just get the browser up, quite literally this is just taking a chunk of a postcode or a complete postcode. This is the first part of mine here in England. So we put this in. Power apps don't have spinners like this. The idea for setting this up and displaying it on the screen, I nicked from this gentleman's blog here. I find it quite interesting. You might do if you're looking for hints on Power app stuff, but it's worth taking a look at. Now, the location list coming back normally can take around 45 to 60 seconds, unfortunately. This is why I wanted a larger spinner on the screen rather than just the 3 little dots at the top. When it comes back, we'll get the list of all the locations it finds. So if we just speed things up and we'll get the first location, these normally return a lot quicker. Now, getting that information for the location list and the location details here involve 2 flows in the background. One called get locations, one called get location details. Get location, fairly simple, it asks for locations and filters them against the postcode you supplied. This one, the get location details flow, it will get a location's details, which is quite more extensive than you see here on the screen. It strips it down to this subset and passes it back to the Power app. Now, a couple of things to note. Sometimes there's missing bits of information, like there's no second line to the address here. The website, Portland do have one. If we click on it, we can go to it, and you need to have your ID4 ready as well if you're going to go to some of these sites, unfortunately. Also, the table here, we have the ratings. So if we click on that, it will take us to the report for the facility as well. So here's Portland Nursing Home, which is getting a good rating on all of its services. Now, the good isn't the highest rating. We'll go back to the list, and if we drag down, I think, to shortly here, this is my local doctor, Hartington Surgery. Now, if we take a look at them, much to my relief, they are outstanding in their well-led and caring and responsive attitude, which is what you want to see for your doctor. Notice the website here is missing, but if we go to take a look at their report, they have a website. This is one of the problems with CQC. The data isn't always wonderfully consistent. Let's step back a couple pages. This stage here, where we're looking for the locations, here I've used the postcode. There's a huge number of other options. Now, at the moment, this initial draft or first version of the connector has everything pretty much as a text box, so you can put what you like in. Working through the various options on the various endpoints at the moment and raising queries with the CQC about some of the options there. The locations endpoint has regions. CQC on their website do not list all of the regions. I emailed and asked them, what are the regions on your endpoint? To which they replied, basically, we do not know. They do not get the regions or define them themselves. They actually fetch them from a second organisation called the Office of National Statistics, from which they get postcodes. So further updating of the CQC connector is going to involve going back and forth between 2 different organisations instead of just the one, to fill out those gaps and produce drop-down lists where I can instead of just a text box. That is a lesson for if you go for a large connector. It may be better off just targeting one endpoint rather than trying to do it all at once. I'm just looking at it, it's coming up to on the hour. Very swiftly, one last thing. If anybody wants to look at this and play with this, it's up there. It's in a public Git repo. I'm sure we can get this address out some way, or get this code through to everyone some way if anyone actually wants it. And that pretty much wraps up what I've got to show on the CQC browser. So I'm just going to drop off.
All right, Martyn, excellent. This is very, very cool. Natalie, thank you both.